good evening. If you wish, fall asleep to a Dragonslayer story. Not a tale of battle, but of listening, of walking slowly, and of keeping an ancient promise. The village is quiet, roofs holding the last warmth of the day. Lanterns breathe in the wind, little gold circles on stone. You stand beside me, and I am only a guide. An older voice, steady, unhurried. Tonight, we walk, and I will tell you the story of the Dragonslayer's oath. Breathe in, slowly. Breathe out, even slower. Let the world settle around you like a cloak, soft and sure. There was a time when dragons troubled the mountains, not with fury, but with sadness. They would circle above the valleys, restless, sleepless. A Dragonslayer was not sent to cut the night in half, but to sing the night back into place. Listen, the oath is simple. Do no harm to a sleeping thing. Do not wake what the moon can calm. Do not speak when listening is enough. Say it with me, quietly, under your breath. Do no harm. Do not wake. Listen. We begin at the village gate, where wisteria leans over old wood. Petals drift, slow as thoughts, finding the ground, then lifting again. The air smells of rice and warm cedar and distant rain that never quite arrives. You and I step forward, together, step by step. Somewhere, a wind chime answers the breeze. Somewhere, a kettle lid clicks and settles. Someone laughs, once, gently, and the sound fades into the evening. We pass under lanterns, gold on our shoulders, silver on our hair. We walk toward the path that climbs the mountain, where an old story waits to finish itself. Breathe with the steps, in and out, step and step. The rhythm belongs to the road, and the road belongs to the night, and the night belongs to sleep. The Dragonslayer I knew, the first I ever followed, carried no bright sword, only a quiet bell, a small book, and a string for tying promises. They would say, "Make the breath your bell, make the heart your book. Let the string tie nothing, and you will not break it." Do you hear how easy that is? How kind? We leave the last house behind. The gate grows smaller, the hills grow nearer, and our story begins to breathe with us. The path finds the forest, and the forest lowers its voice. Pines whisper above us, needles trading secrets the way streams trade light. A row of lanterns leads onward, each one a small moon at arm's length. Gold, space, gold, space. The rhythm teaches the feet how to move. Listen to your steps, step by step. Let the breath match the glow, arrive, linger, fade. On the right, a stone marker, the spiral of a dragon carved by an old hand. You touch the cool groove with your fingertips. Not a mark of warning, but a mark of remembering. Someone stood here years ago and promised to walk gently. The Dragonslayer I followed would pause at such stones. They would close their eyes and count 3 slow breaths. One for the mountain, one for the river, one for the sleeping scales. We do the same. Now, together. 1 in, 1 out, 2 in, 2 out, 3 in, 3 out. A night bird calls, twice, then quiet again. Somewhere far behind. The village bell leans into the hour. The air is cooler and carries the clean scent of the pines. You notice how the shoulders loosen, how the jaw softens, how the eyes prefer to half close. We pass a bend where the lanterns are fewer and the shadows are kinder. Wind presses through branches, the sound like a long, soft ribbon. The path curves left, then right, as if bowing to the trees. Step by step, in and out. The Dragonslayer once told me, most dragons are lost voices, and you cannot argue a lost voice into rest. You can only hum beside it until it remembers its own song. So we hum very quietly, only in the chest. No tune, just breath. A hum that no one needs to hear, except the night itself. At the end of the pines, a pale light opens. The sound of water waits there, patient as stone. We keep our pace, small, certain, slow. The river holds the moon and does not spill it. Fireflies stitch little lamps across the dark water. On the bridge, the boards answer our wait with tiny, welcome sounds. We stand at the center and do nothing special. We let the night be what it is. We listen to water learning its own name over and over, as if for the first time. On the far rail sits a stone the size of a closed hand, smooth, warm from the day. The Dragonslayer would move such stones from one place to another. No rule, no reason. They would say, the world needs small changes to remember how to rest. So we move the stone from left to right. You feel the softness of a simple task, finished without hurry. Breathe with the river. In, hear the water. Out, hear the quiet that returns after every sound. Mist drifts above the surface like silk that forgot to fall. A reed taps once, then stops. Behind us, the lantern on the bank makes a trembling thread across the current. Gold breaks, heals, breaks, heals. The eyes follow that easy rhythm without holding it. I tell you that the Dragonslayer never raised their voice, even when a dragon circled low, heavy with its own thoughts. They would bow, as to a guest, and say nothing at all. Sometimes silence is a rope, and sometimes it is a door. Tonight, it is a blanket. We leave the bridge and follow the water upstream. Footsteps in soft soil, the kind that remembers and then forgives. A small staircase of stone climbs the hill, and a shrine waits above. We climb, as if reading a poem, one careful line at a time. Stone steps rise, patient and even. At their top, a small shrine with wisteria gathered like a purple cloud. 2 paper bells hang from the eaves, barely moving, barely sounding. Inside, a low table, a kettle, a cup. The Dragonslayer would light the stove with a single breath and a patient spark. Tonight, we only imagine the steam, and the room accepts our imagining as enough. We sit on tatami and pour the tea we cannot see. We warm our hands on a cup that may not exist. still. The warmth travels into the fingers, into the wrists, into the chest. That is what stories do. They pour what is needed, and the body does not argue. We speak the oath again, but quieter this time. Do no harm to a sleeping thing. Do not wake what the moon can calm. Do not speak when listening is enough. A scroll hangs on the wall. Brush strokes of a dragon curled around the character for rest. Not victory. Rest. The strokes swell and thin as if they themselves were breathing. We breathe with them, in and out. Slow and slower. Wind passes the doorway, a cool thread across the floor. The bells answer with a sound too small to chase. We let it pass. We let it return. We let it be unfinished. Everything tonight is allowed to be unfinished. When the kettle in our imagination sings, it sings softly. We bow to the empty cup, to the room, to the promise, and we step outside again, where stars have gathered like quiet witnesses. The path climbs beyond the shrine, into the high meadow. We follow, and the grass brushes our ankles like the soft edge of sleep. Here, the mountains release the sky. Stars are so many that counting becomes a kind of dream. The Dragonslayer used to trace constellations with a finger in the air. Not the warrior, not the sword, they would say. Look, there, the resting coil, the folded wing, the open eye that closes on purpose. In the sky, shapes of rest are brighter than shapes of struggle. Lie back in the grass if you like. Let the earth carry what you no longer wish to lift. Shoulders melt into ground. The ground melts into night, and nothing has to try. We breathe with the slope of the land. As you inhale, imagine the hillside becoming slightly lighter. As you exhale, imagine it becoming slightly heavier. A tide you cannot see, but you can feel, and that is enough. From far away, a dragon can look like weather. Only a gentle stirring of stars, a shadow that thinks slowly. If you have ever watched clouds become other clouds, you know how a dragon falls asleep, one thought softening into another until there are no edges left. We hum again, only in the chest, no tune. We hum until the jaw forgets its work, and the tongue rests like a leaf on a pond. We hum until the breath lengthens, and the heart decides that slow is safe. The meadow keeps our secrets. The sky keeps our company. When we rise, we do it as if waking from a nap we may continue while walking. We head toward the dark line where rock begins, where caves collect cool air and old stories. The mouth of the cave is a curve of shadow. Inside, crystals hold the moon the way a bowl holds water. Light arrives, softens, blends, and returns to stone. Our steps become smaller, our voices become invisible. We listen for a breath that is not ours. There, a slow wind moving inward, outward, inward. The dragon is near and sleeping. Do no harm, do not wake. Listen. We repeat the oath with our mouths closed and our hearts open. The Dragonslayer I followed would sit at the threshold and remove their shoes. They said, "Do not enter as if you own a path. Enter as if the path owns you. We sit, and the world sits with us. The dragon breathes, and the cave answers, a lullaby of stone. Every exhale lengthens the silence after it, like a river carving patience into rock. I take from my pocket a small thing the Dragonslayer once gave me. A dull scale, thin as a coin, light as a promise. It belongs to no dragon in particular. It belongs to the story. I hold it to the light and let it glow, only a little. We place the scale on the floor between us and leave it there. A gift to no one. An apology to nothing. A reminder that even heavy tales can end quietly. The dragon turns once in its sleep. The stars outside remember how to be still. And we sit until the cave begins to breathe for us. When we stand, we do it slowly. We bow, even though no one is watching. We put on our shoes and walk backward for 3 soft steps. The cave keeps the scale, and we keep the rest. Down the path, back through meadow and shrine and river. Every place we visited has grown a little more asleep. The bridge welcomes us with familiar boards. The lanterns along the pines bow and close their eyes. The village is a pocket of gold sewn into a coat of blue. At your door, the hinge speaks in a voice you recognize. You set water to heat. You find a cup. You carry it to the window. Steam rises, fades, returns as warmth in your hands, warmth in your chest. We do not finish the story with a shout. We do not claim a victory that was never needed. We let the oath finish the story for us. Do no harm to a sleeping thing. Do not wake what the moon can calm. Do not speak when listening is enough. If sleep wishes to arrive now, it may. If it prefers to wait at the edge of the room, it may. You have given the night what it asked for, and the night will keep its promise. The Dragonslayer I followed grew older and slower and kinder. One evening they told me, the last dragon I met was only the sky learning how to rest. I believed them, and I still do. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the breath do the walking now. The cup warms the hands warm the heart. The room becomes a boat. The boat becomes a cloud. The cloud becomes sleep. If dreams come, let them pass like lanterns on a river. If they do not, rest anyway. You are already beside the shore. Good night. And if you wake, you may always begin again. With one small breath, one soft step, and the oath that harms nothing.